Today, I'm talking about inflation. Let's just zero into a commodity that perhaps could tell us the direction of inflation, and it's bush mango seeds, commonly known as Ogbonno in most homes, make up a lot of soup, especially from the eastern part. And to discuss this with us is Rosemary Ahira. She's an analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Hi, Rosemary. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ini. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So we see that the average retail price of Ogbonno went dropped sharply by more than 50% to 5,000 from about 10,500, and it's not easy to see a drop in price, especially at this time, not just in Nigeria but around the world, in most countries at this time. But what do we know as the driver of this drop in the price of this seed?
Well, majorly, I can say that it is due to high volume of harvesting currently happening. So typically, Ogbonno is harvested between April and August of every year. And at the moment, we are in the heart of the harvesting period. So there is a lot of harvesting going on. So this is increasing supply volumes in the market. And again, the weather, we are typically in the rainy season. So Ogbonno requires a dry and but cool weather condition to be stored properly. So with a lot of rain, there's humidity, and it could make this commodity spoil easily. So harvesters and traders that have stockpiles do not want to incur fruitless storage costs. So they are pushing their stockpiles into the market. So we are seeing a large volume of Ogbonno going into the market. So this has caused a downward pressure in the price of this commodity.
So
Recently.
obviously, it doesn't sound like it's sustainable because, like most crops in Nigeria, unfortunately, because there's no preservation and storage facility or value chain development along that. We see when it's harvested, it's cheap, and then when it's off season, it goes up. So we can expect that it's the same thing applicable to this.
Yes, Amy, I do agree with you. During the harvest season, typically the prices do go down, but when we start to move outside the harvest season, that's outside of August, you tend to see the prices increase. Like earlier in the year, in January, it cost about 10,500. Then in March, it kind of slowed down to about 8,000 naira because it is not structurally cultivated. It's more or less widely harvested. So we have people going into some people going into their cultivation to pick out these fruits for harvesting, while we have others going into the bush to pick out the melon seeds from the mango seeds from the trees to harvest and all of that. So the decline in price is not sustainable at although we are still going to enjoy the low prices till the end of the harvest season, but going outside the harvest season, it is going to increase, except and only except if the stockpiles that they have outside the harvest season is enough to sustain the prices till we have another supply peak.
Yeah, and it would also be interesting if we could hear conversations about developing the storage and preservation facilities that, will keep the price steady almost all through the year. But I don't think, I mean, of all the crops that we have things like yam and things that are even more basic. They have not even received such attention.
Indeed. But recently, Calabar has been doing something about it. So they've trained over 870 women in the cultivation, harvesting, and processing of Ogbonno seeds for commercial purposes. And we even have the African Development Bank giving over $500 million to the South, and Southeast states that have the potential to produce this commodity, and just investing in that niche so that this crop can be widely or mass produced, and so we'll have enough to satisfy domestic demand and also um, export as well, because we do have an export potential. Companies like the Price Pally are exporting this commodity because it costs about 3 to 5 times the same amount it does here in the country. That's about 10 to $30. That's 15 to 45,000 naira. So there's export potential. So traders or harvesters get to not only sell to domestic markets but to international markets as well, which is very profitable for them.
All right, Rosemary. Well, we hope that Cross River State can lead the way, and if we can export it, obviously it's good for the country, not just Cross River State. But thank you so much for sharing that information with us, Rosemary Ahira, analyst with Financial Derivatives Company.
Thank you so much for having me.